This is like so hard to film.
I just wanna see the light.
What's up everyone? It's your girl Crystal here. Welcome back to my channel. I have to be really quiet right now because it's midnight, past midnight, and everyone's asleep, and I'm over here trying to film to upload on time. Honestly, I was this close to just not doing it, but I have to. So basically what this video is going to be is, if you watched my last video, I talked about how being big caused me to be depressed and have lots of anxiety. So that's basically what I want to talk about, because I didn't really talk about it much in my last video. I just asked if you guys wanted to see that video talking about it, and you did. And it's something that hits hard, and I know a lot of people feel the same way, or are in the same position, or they were in the same position. So I guess starting off, when I was big, I had a lot of emotional issues that I suppressed. I never came out to anyone. I never talked to anyone about the way I felt. I don't know, it's a really tough subject to talk about, and I know that people are gonna benefit from watching this. That's why I'm doing it. But basically, I was in such a bad place that I thought of ending things. This is so hard. There were many times where I figured that I thought that things weren't going to get better for me. Being overweight, lots of things go through your head. You think that you're not going to be accepted by anyone, no one's going to love you, and you're going to be big your whole life, and all the problems you have are never going to go away. So most of that had to do with being overweight. It put me in that mindset, and I was in such a bad place. I wasn't one to, and I'm not one to talk to my parents about what I'm going through, and I know a lot of people aren't like that either. And it was so bad to the point where I noticed that my mom was looking at therapists for me to see, and that was just kind of like, it was like a weird feeling. It was like an embarrassing moment, but at the same time I felt even worse because I felt like something was wrong with me. And in my family, it's kind of like they see it as, oh, it's all in your head, like just get over it. And it's not like that. Like, when you have issues with depression, it's not something you can really control. You have to learn to be happy within yourself to be able to get over that. And I'm not for medications and antidepressants and all that, because I believe that things like that could make it worse for you. So I chose not to say anything, and I was just embarrassed. I never started getting anxiety, which actually came after most of my weight loss, until maybe 75% through of what I had already lost. And I remember the exact date that I started to feel my anxiety. It's the weirdest thing, because it's like, you can't just develop anxiety in one day. Like, it doesn't work like that. But for some reason, it hit me hard, and I remember the exact day that it happened. I was in my Foundations 2 class of culinary school, and it was my second class being there, and I was just cooking, like I was doing whatever I had to be doing, and all of a sudden my heart just started racing, and I felt so sick. And I told my friend, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I remember I was working at American Eagle, and I did not want to go to work because I was going to do an 8-hour shift, and I hated working there. And I don't know if that's what kind of brought it out so that I could actually notice it, but I felt horrible. I felt like I needed to go running. I felt like I was just gonna explode. Like, my heart was racing, I was getting super hot, I felt like I was gonna throw up, and I never knew, I've never experienced anything like that, but now I know that I was having an anxiety attack. And I've gotten so used to having anxiety attacks, and that is something that I have talked to my parents about, anxiety attacks and all that. They know about it. They don't, I mean, there's not much you can do about them. They're not curable, and I don't want to be taking medication for them. So I kind of just have to like deal with it, and I've learned to control it. I really have. But yeah, that was the first day experience, and every single day after that day, that feeling never went away. Some people ask me, they're like, oh, what's anxiety? Like, it's all in your head. It doesn't really, like, it's nothing. Get over it. And it's like, the way I describe it to people, for me, everyone experiences anxiety. If you struggle with anxiety, everyone experiences it in a different way. But for me, on a daily basis, it's like that feeling of being so nervous that you're gonna throw up. That's what I feel every single day. And there's times, it's been a while since it's happened, but there's times where it gets so bad that I have an anxiety attack, and my body would get super hot. I feel like I need to throw up. I feel like I need to go to the restroom. I feel like I need to go run for 30 minutes just to get over it. And that's what I do. That's how I learned to control it, actually. I found that if I make my heart beat fast by choice, by running, by doing any physical activity that makes my heart race, I can control my anxiety. Because the idea of not being able to control my own body and having my heart racing and having these feelings is what freaks me out. So whenever I start to feel it, whenever it gets really bad, I just run. I don't care what I'm doing, I will go run, and after that, I'm good. If I don't, and I just like let it take over me, I'm literally like a zombie for a whole day, and I'm not even messing around. Like, I will lay in bed, cry, and just be sad for the whole day until I wake up the next morning, and then I'm kind of recuperating. I won't eat, I won't get out of bed, I won't do anything. I will lay there with my eyes closed all day. I'll either nap or I'll just lay there. I won't look at my phone, I won't do anything, and that's how bad it gets. As far as me getting over my being, I guess in a sense, depressed, I just learned to love myself. I went through so many different changes. I let go of a lot of people that used to bring me down, put me in a bad place, and I just started doing me. I started doing things that made me happy, and I started to be happy. I started doing makeup, I started doing social media a lot more, and I just felt good. And that kind of just brought me out of everything. Don't get me wrong, I have bad days. Everybody has bad days. But just knowing, excuse me, you're interrupting. Just knowing that I'm happy with myself makes me happy. And I don't need anyone to make me happy, which is something that took me so long to realize, but it really helped me be happy for myself, with myself. I don't need any guy, I don't need anyone there for me just so I could be happy. And once I realized that, so many things changed. So it makes me so happy to say that I love myself, and I love that I'm happy, and I love that I can do what I do for everyone, and it's just, it's a really good feeling. And as far as my anxiety, I've learned to control it. I've learned to get used to it, the feelings. I don't always have good days, but most days are good days, even with that feeling that I have. And I know that so many people go through this, and so many people are still struggling with depression and anxiety, and they don't think that they'll get through it, but just know that everything will get better. Oh God. Okay. This is like so hard to film. I also mentioned in my last video that I wanted to get a semicolon tattoo. And basically everything that I talked about in that semicolon tattoo, that's what it represents. A semicolon represents to pause and move on. Don't stop. It represents suicide, depression, and anxiety, all of that, to just move forward. And I really want to get that, and if you guys didn't know what it was, now you know, but basically what I went through when I was big to now. Everyone has issues. If you're watching this and you're going through something and you think that it's the end, it's really not. Everyone at some point understands what you feel, and there's other people who understand what you feel, and you're not alone. So I mean, if there's no one else who understands, I understand. So yeah, that's basically it for today, guys. Make sure you're subscribed, follow me on my social media. Everything will be linked in the description. Give me a like if you can relate, comment something down below encouraging other people, and make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!